Main menus play a really important role whenever it comes to video games that a lot of people don't think about, as you're not expected to be spending hours in the main menu like you will the rest of the game. But that doesn't mean they aren't important. The main menu serves as a player's first impression for a game most of the time. So a good one will sort of tell the player what the vibe of the game is going to be. It does this with the art it uses in the background and the music that is playing while scrolling through the settings. And I believe a good game that does an amazing job at this is Skyrim. When you first boot up this game, you are hit with these ominous chants that later evolve into this booming orchestra, and it truly feels like the game is not so quietly telling the player, oh yeah, you're gonna slay some fucking dragons. And slay some fucking dragons you do. This song is the go-to theme that plays in my head when I think of an epic adventure that ends with the main character saving the world. With this theme and the backdrop being that little dragon emblem, this game's main menu does a fantastic job at setting the scene for the rest of the game to come. Hades has an absolutely amazing soundtrack throughout the entire game, but my personal favorite theme from the game has to be the one that plays when you first open it, titled No Escape. I mean, just listen to this and tell me it isn't absolutely awesome. I just love how you can hear the other guitars slowly enter and just fully take over the song. It's great. Plus, it works so well with this menu. I mean, look at Zagreus' smug fucking face and the way he just stands up, staring directly at you. It feels like he's telling you that he knows he's the coolest in the room and doesn't need any reminders. Also, Hades himself sitting in the background on his throne with the souls of the damned just slowly blinking in and out of the artwork just feels so awesome. It's just magnifique. The last menu we will be talking about before moving on to the rest of the video is from a game that is very important to me, and has been ever since I played it. Persona 4 Golden's main menu is truly something special. Now, technically, it's not the first thing you see or hear whenever you open the game, but it's still the main menu of the game, and it still technically counts. This theme that plays in the main menu does so much by itself in giving the player a vibe of what the rest of the game is going to be. It is genuinely beautiful. And it is also the reason why I'm making this video to begin with. Persona 4 was the first game where I sat down and actually listened to what my ears were hearing beyond that of swords clashing and characters talking with one another. That piano that plays leading the other instruments as they slowly crescendo up to this wonderful climax, only to be cut off and leaving the piano to play alone, closing the song. It is genuinely beautiful. Alright, that's enough of the sappy stuff. Let's talk about... Now, From Software has been known to come out with some absolute heaters when it comes to the soundtracks they make for their games. I mean, seriously, go to YouTube, type in Dark Souls, and the first 3 auto-recommended things are going to be music-related. And that's for good reason. Just listen to this shit. But in this video, we're going to talk about Elden Ring because, in my opinion, it has the best OST out of all of From Software's Souls game series, and I'm just an absolute sucker for orchestras that are very heavy with the brass and mainly focus on that family of instruments when it comes to very loud, bombastic music like this, and Elden Ring has a lot of that. Also, I don't really know how, but this game's soundtrack feels so much more cinematic, I guess is the right way to put it, than any other game I've played. I genuinely don't know how they did it. It is mind-boggling to me. And to prove this, I'm going to show you the final boss of the game. So, spoilers, I guess. When you enter Radagon's Arena, it plays a little cinematic, and just watch. I mean, just look at how the music complements Radagon's introduction, and for that matter, his entire fight. It makes him feel so much more imposing than he would be if he didn't have any music. And I've tested this. You've just seen the cutscene with music. Now here's the cutscene without music. Roll the clip. He doesn't really feel as intimidating now, does he? I think this one little example does a very good job at showing what I am trying to explain in this video. Music is so important when it comes to creating the atmosphere around a game, and From Software does an amazing job at that. So much so that if you play through any of their games with the music turned off, the game feels incomplete. And that is because they've managed to make it so that the music is an integral part of their storytelling. Really, as a prime example of this, beat the final boss of Dark Souls 1, and then beat the final boss of Dark Souls 3. Do that, and that sort of explains my entire point with this section of the video. Now, for our last game we're going to be talking about, we're going to talk about a series that heavily benefits from music that the player hears. And that game series is... Now, I'll be the first to admit, I'm not the biggest fan of the Doom series, so I don't have very much to say about them, but I have played through Doom 1, I've beaten 16, and I've beaten Eternal. But even with all of that, and my not very much knowledge of this franchise, it is so obvious to me that this series benefits heavily from having an amazing soundtrack. I mean, Eternal has got to be in my top 10 favorite video game soundtracks of all time. It is so good that it actually got me into metal music. But we need to actually talk about how the game benefits from the soundtrack. And to do that, we just gotta look at the gameplay and themes. This game is about a roided out Master Chief who hunts down demons and splits their heads open like melons. You wouldn't want this fucking music to sound like the Peppa Pig game, would you? No! I mean, maybe you would, but that's not really the point that I'm trying to make with this video. This game soundtrack will have anyone's grandma split in 3 lanes of traffic without looking. This soundtrack is the embodiment of hell yes, and it works so well with the themes of the game. And that is going to be the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I know this video feels kind of short, especially with what I'm talking about, but, you know, it's my first time making a video like this, and maybe there will be a part 2. Who knows? I definitely want to talk about more video game music in the future and more just topics in the future. So there's probably going to be a part 2. Crazy voice crack on my end. Anyways, thank you for watching. Check out my other videos if you want to. They're not like this. They're more shitposts, but still, go watch them. And that'll be it. Bye-bye.